Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. This time, we're tackling making money online. You guys sent in this awesome YouTube video by Alex Hormozy all about the best platforms to make some digital cash.
Yeah, and he doesn't just like throw out a top 10 list or whatever.
Yeah.
He uses this whole tier system, like from S tier all the way down to F.
I guess we'll see how my platform stacks up against yours, right?
Exactly, yeah. So it's not just based on like how popular they are, but like actual data and like what he's seen in his own experience. Things like demographics and how easy it is to grow on the platform.
And most importantly, how much money you can actually make on each platform. Get that cash.
Exactly, exactly. All right, well, let's jump right into it. Let's start with one that's been getting a lot of attention lately, TikTok.
TikTok, huh? Yeah, that's the one with all the dancing and stuff, right? Endless scrolling. You'd think it'd be a money-making machine.
Well, that's what a lot of people think, right?
Yeah.
But Alex actually puts it in the dreaded F tier. And there's a few pretty interesting reasons why.
Okay, I'm all ears. Lay it on me.
Well, first off, if you're trying to reach those higher income folks, TikTok might not be the best spot.
Not the best bottom.
Yeah, only around 27% of TikTok users come from families making over $100,000 a year.
Oh, wow. So if you're selling luxury products or high-ticket services, TikTok might not be your ideal audience.
Exactly. You really got to know where your people are hanging out online.
Yeah, makes sense. Target audience is key.
And even though TikTok is known for fast growth, Alex actually found that the engagement is kind of surprisingly low.
Oh, really? Low engagement.
Yeah, he's got almost 900,000 followers on there, but TikTok only drives like 2.5% of the traffic to his website.
2.5%. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
All those views and followers, but no one's clicking through.
Yeah, it seems like all those views and followers don't actually translate into meaningful engagement.
Interesting. So people are scrolling and watching, but are they really absorbing your message? Are they taking action, visiting your website or buying your product?
That's the question, right? The conversion rate just isn't really there.
And, he even mentioned this anecdote about a business owner who won this thing called the school games, which, it's not exactly business related, but it got her a ton of followers on TikTok.
Oh, interesting.
But she actually makes way more money from Instagram, even though she has a smaller following there.
Really?
Yeah. It seems like it's not just about the number of followers. It's about the quality of those followers, their engagement, and ultimately their willingness to buy.
I see what you mean. It's not just about vanity metrics, right? It's about real business results.
Exactly. Okay, so if TikTok is out, where should we be focusing our energy? Alex's pick for the top spot is probably not going to surprise you. YouTube. Big S tier rating.
Oh, YouTube, yeah. Makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense when you look at the demographics. 89% of YouTube users come from families making over $100,000 a year.
Wow, 89%.
Yeah, that's a huge difference from TikTok. So if you're selling something that appeals to a more affluent audience, YouTube's where it's at.
Yeah, I guess YouTube's suggested video algorithm is pretty amazing for organic growth too, right? I mean, you watch one video and suddenly you're down a rabbit hole of recommendations.
That's the algorithm doing its thing. And if you can figure out how to work with it, your videos can start showing up in those suggested slots and your audience can grow like crazy without spending a ton on ads.
So like free marketing, essentially.
Pretty much. And the average view duration on YouTube is also way longer than, say, TikTok. Alex said his videos average over 8.5 minutes. That's a lot of time to connect with your audience and build trust in your brand.
Yeah, 8.5 minutes is practically a feature film compared to those fleeting TikTok scrolls.
Right. It gives you a chance to showcase your expertise, go deeper into topics, and really build a relationship with your viewers.
Yeah, and while direct conversion might be a bit lower on YouTube because, there's no direct messaging like DMs, the traffic that does come from YouTube converts at a much higher rate.
Oh, interesting. So the people who are clicking through from your YouTube videos are more likely to become paying customers.
Exactly. They're already invested. They've taken the time to watch your content, so they're clearly interested in what you have to offer.
That makes a lot of sense. They're already bought in.
Right, right. And speaking YouTube, Alex's journey actually started there. He was inspired by this YouTuber with a massive following and saw how you could reach a huge audience and build a successful business just by sharing your knowledge and passion online.
It's proof that you don't need a fancy studio or a big budget to get started, right? Just a webcam and something valuable to share.
That's all you need. But there are a couple things he says you should focus on. Thumbnails and the first 8 seconds of your video.
Okay, let's talk thumbnails. Why are those so important?
Think of the thumbnail as like the cover of a book. It's the first thing people see and what's going to make them want to click. Alex takes it so seriously, he split-tested 9 different thumbnails for one video.
9 different thumbnails. That's commitment.
Yeah, he's not messing around. He knows that the right thumbnail can make a huge difference in how many people watch your video.
And then those first 8 seconds, you gotta grab their attention right away, right?
No time for rambling intros. You got to get straight to the point, make it super clear what you're offering, and hook those viewers immediately. Attention spans are short.
Don't waste those precious seconds. Make every single one count.
Exactly. And the payoff can be huge. Alex actually said that almost 60% of his business contacts came from YouTube.
60%.
Wow.
So the majority of his business connections came from a platform where he's consistently providing value and building relationships. That's amazing.
Yeah, pretty impressive. All right, well, we've got TikTok down in the F tier and YouTube as an S. What about Twitter.or? I guess it's X now.
X, that's right. Almost forgot. So where does the platform formerly known as Twitter land on Alex's tier list?
Well, he gives it an A tier, and it's all about its viral potential. Things can spread like wildfire on X thanks to retweets and quote tweets.
Yeah, it's like a digital megaphone. So even if you don't have a huge following, your message can still reach a ton of people if it resonates and gets shared.
Precisely. And even though it's smaller than some other platforms, the people who are on X are highly engaged. They're actively consuming content and looking for valuable information.
Yeah, and don't forget about direct connection. On X, you can slide into anyone's DMs, from your followers to, like, big industry leaders.
True. And Alex shared this cool example of a niche marketing agency that's making millions from a relatively small following, just 8,000 people. And they do it by providing really in-depth threads and offering direct consultations through DMs.
Wow, that's incredible. It just shows that you don't need a massive following to be successful online. It's about finding your niche, providing real value, and leveraging the platform's unique features.
So true. And Alex himself uses X in a few different ways. Real-time engagement, content creation, and even as a hub for repurposing content across other platforms.
So he might tweet out an idea and then turn that same tweet into an Instagram caption, a LinkedIn post, or even a topic for his YouTube videos.
Exactly. It's about working smarter, not harder.
I like that. Work smarter, not harder.
Mm.
So while X might not have the massive reach of some other platforms, it's still a powerful tool for building your brand, connecting with your audience, and even driving conversions.
Definitely. All right, let's switch gears a bit and talk about LinkedIn, the platform where everyone seems to have a perfect profile and loves to share their professional achievements.
Oh yeah, LinkedIn. It's all about those humble brags, right?
Well, it's not just about bragging rights. LinkedIn actually has a surprisingly high concentration of high-income earners. Like 53% of users come from households making over $100,000.
So it's a prime spot for selling professional services or high-end products.
Exactly. And Alex puts LinkedIn in the B tier. He says it's all about building relationships with your network, sharing valuable content, and really positioning yourself as an expert.
So even if you don't have a massive following, you can still achieve significant results on LinkedIn by focusing on building those genuine connections.
That's right. He highlighted a few strategies, like using Sales Navigator for super targeted outbound marketing.
So it's like a laser-focused tool for finding and connecting with your ideal clients.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He also mentioned this cool little growth hack, which is commenting on posts from large accounts to boost your visibility. It's like a mini collab that exposes you to a much wider audience.
Oh, that's clever. I'm going to have to try that. And perhaps the most valuable thing about LinkedIn is its potential for recruiting.
He calls it the hidden ROI of the platform.
I love that. The hidden ROI. It's often overlooked, but building a strong presence on LinkedIn can help you attract top talent.
It's not just about making money directly, it's also about attracting talented people who can help grow your business.
It's all connected, right?
Exactly. All right, well, before we move on to Instagram and the rest of Alex's breakdown, I'm curious, what's standing out to you so far? What are you thinking?
Well, what's fascinating is how each platform has its own strengths and weaknesses. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
So true. What works on YouTube might not work on TikTok, and vice versa.
Right. And it seems like chasing followers isn't enough. You need to be focusing on genuine engagement and building relationships and ultimately driving conversions.
So true. You've got to be focusing on real business results, whether that's website traffic, sales, or new business connections.
Exactly. We're not just aiming for likes and shares. We're aiming for actual results. Okay, let's dive into another social media giant, Instagram.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We are ready to unpack all the secrets of Instagram.
Instagram, huh? Yeah, it's come a long way from those perfectly curated squares, right? Now it's all about video and connecting with your audience and selling stuff. So how does it stack up against the other platforms?
Well, Alex gives it an S-tier rating right up there with YouTube.
S tier, okay.
Yeah, it's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
And he's got some really great insights into how to actually use it effectively to make money. First off, the demographics are really good, especially if you're going after, higher income folks.
Okay, so people with disposable income who are ready to spend.
That's right. And Instagram has seen this big resurgence in organic growth lately,
Yeah.
thanks to Reels.
Reels, huh? Yeah, those short, engaging videos are everywhere. So you're saying they can actually help businesses reach a wider audience?
Oh, absolutely. But Alex emphasizes that it's not just about throwing any old reel out there. You got to understand how your audience actually engages with different types of content.
What do you mean, like different formats?
Yeah, exactly. He actually made a distinction between those super short tweet-style reels and those longer, more in-depth videos.
Oh, that's interesting. So what's the difference?
Well, he's found that those shorter reels, the ones that are just like quick hits of information or entertainment, tend to get shared more.
Yeah, they're really snackable, right? Easy to share with your friends.
Exactly. But those longer videos, the ones where you go deeper into a topic, can actually lead to more meaningful engagement.
I see. People are taking the time to really listen and absorb your message.
That's right. They're not just scrolling past. So it's about finding the right balance.
Makes sense. So you got to know when to go for the quick win and when to really dive deep and provide some serious value.
Exactly. And when it comes to actually making money, Instagram offers a bunch of different ways to do it.
Like what?
Well, you got stories with swipe-up links, calls to action in your captions, links in your bio, shoppable posts, and of course, direct messaging.
So many options. It's like you can connect with your audience in so many ways and guide them towards making a purchase.
It's a multifaceted sales machine, right? You just got to choose the right tools for the job. And this is a really cool story. Alex actually told a story about a nutritionist who had only 5,800 followers, but made over $1 million in revenue.
Wait, $1 million from only 5,800 followers? How is that even possible?
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Well, she focused on a very specific niche. She built a really engaged community, and she leveraged those DM conversations to actually make sales.
Wow. So she wasn't just broadcasting her message to the masses. She was building relationships, really understanding her audience, and offering personalized solutions.
Absolutely. And, just like with the other platforms, Alex emphasizes that it's not about chasing those empty views. It's about engaging with the right people, the ones who are actually interested in what you're offering.
Quality over quantity, right. It's about building a tribe of true fans.
Exactly. And check this out. 48% of traffic to Alex's website comes from Instagram.
48%. Wow, that's even more than YouTube.
It just shows the power of Instagram, even for someone like Alex who focuses on business content.
Yeah, Instagram is a force to be reckoned with. Okay, well, let's move on to a platform that's kind of gotten a bad rap lately. Facebook.
Facebook, you mean like where your grandma hangs out?
Yeah, exactly. I thought everyone was ditching Facebook for Instagram and TikTok.
Well, there's been some, challenges for sure, but it's still a major player, especially when it comes to, those high-income earners.
So the rumors of Facebook's death have been greatly exaggerated.
It seems that way. They still have a massive user base.
Yeah.
And the demographics, those were right up there with YouTube and Instagram as far as those high earners go.
So it's not just cat videos and political arguments anymore?
Not at all. And get this, Facebook is actually making a bit of a comeback with organic reach thanks to Reels.
Reels are on Facebook too.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
So businesses have another way to reach their audience without breaking the bank on ads.
Exactly. And they have a ton of different content formats too, just like Instagram. So lots of flexibility to play around and see what works.
Oh, that's good. Experimentation is key.
Totally. And, Alex actually shared a funny story about how he had to restart his Facebook profile because he made some mistakes early on.
He wasn't always the social media whiz he is today.
We all make mistakes. It's all about learning from them.
Exactly. Gotta learn and adapt.
Well, his new Facebook page, even though it's smaller, still drives more traffic than his TikTok account.
Again, it's not just about the number of followers. It's about engagement and conversion.
That's the name of the game.
Okay, so Facebook's back in the game. It's not just a social media graveyard.
It's definitely evolving. And for businesses willing to put in the work, it can still be a really valuable platform.
All right, so before we move on to Alex's final thoughts and some other platforms that he thinks have potential, I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about these two platforms he grouped together, Podcasts and email marketing.
Podcasts and email. Oh, yeah.
They seem kind of old school compared to all this social media stuff.
I know what you mean. But they actually offer something really powerful.
What's that?
It's all about building deep, long-lasting relationships.
Oh, I see. So it's not about those quick hits of content. It's about building trust and loyalty over time.
Exactly. Alex calls them long-term nurture tools. It's about creating that sense of community and becoming a trusted source of information.
It's like that saying, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. And podcasts and email give you that space to build that trust.
It's true. When you listen to a podcast, it's often just you and the host, right?
Yeah, it feels very personal, like you're in a conversation.
Exactly. And with email, you're landing right in someone's inbox. It's a direct line to their attention.
So you're not competing with all the noise of social media, right?
Right. And look at the stats. Alex says the average listen duration for podcasts is 20 minutes, and his email open rates are over 40%.
40%? That's amazing. Most people are lucky to get a 10% open rate.
It means people actually want to hear what he has to say. They're not just hitting delete.
So they're engaged, they're interested, and they're more likely to convert into paying customers.
That's right. Alex said the average ROI for email marketing is like 36 to 1.
36 to 1, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty compelling, right? So, building an email list and nurturing those relationships is crucial.
But building an email list and growing a podcast, it's definitely a slower process than social media, right?
It takes time. It's more like, cultivating a garden.
Yeah, you got to tend to it, be patient, and wait for those seeds to sprout.
But those fruits of your labor are so worth it. You're building a sustainable business that can generate revenue for years to come. You're not just at the mercy of some algorithm.
Yeah, you're not building your house on rented land.
Exactly. And while it might take more time, the rewards are definitely worth it. You're creating a community of people who trust you and are more likely to buy from you.
All right, so we've talked about TikTok, YouTube, X, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, podcasts, email, the busy. It's a lot.
I know. But the takeaway here is that each platform has something unique to offer. It's about finding the right fit for you, your business, and your target audience.
Yeah, playing to each platform's strengths.
Exactly. And it's about understanding how to leverage each platform's unique features to create content that converts.
It's not about being everywhere. It's about being strategic.
Absolutely. Now, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I do want to quickly mention a few other platforms that Alex thinks have potential.
Okay, which ones?
He calls them honorable mentions, and they each have their own unique opportunities for certain niches.
Like what?
Well, first up is Pinterest.
Oh, Pinterest. Lots of pretty pictures.
Yeah, but it's so much more than that. It's actually a gold mine for businesses with products or services that, look good.
So if you're selling something visually appealing, like fashion or home decor, Pinterest is the place to be.
Exactly. And it actually has the highest average revenue per user of any platform that Alex looked at.
Really? So Pinterest users are big spenders.
They are. It's a platform built for inspiration and discovery.
Cool. All right, what about Snapchat? Isn't that just for, teenagers sending disappearing photos?
It's definitely evolved a lot. It's actually a powerful platform for commerce now, especially with those younger demographics like millennials and Gen Z.
So if you're selling products that appeal to a younger audience, Snapchat could be a good option.
Absolutely. They've done a great job of integrating those shopping features into the app.
Okay, interesting. And last but not least, Twitch. I know it's popular with gamers, but can you actually make money on Twitch if you're not a professional gamer?
It's definitely known for gaming, but it's branching out into other areas now too.
Like what?
Well, Alex mentioned that he's seeing this trend towards really long, like day in the lifestyle streams on Twitch.
Oh, like your own reality show where you're just sharing your daily activities?
Exactly. And it's working. For the right creators, Twitch can be really lucrative.
It takes a certain personality to be that open and transparent, though, right?
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
really got to be comfortable putting yourself out there.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about TikTok, YouTube, X, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, podcasts, email, Pinterest, Snapchat, and Twitch. My head is spinning.
It's a lot to take in, for sure. But the point is that there are so many different options out there. It's not about trying to do everything. It's about finding what works best for you and your business.
It's about playing to your strengths. And it's not just about the platform itself. It's about the value you provide and the relationships you build.
Exactly. And, Alex actually saved the best for last. We're going to talk about a platform that might surprise you.
What platform is that?
Amazon.
Amazon. You mean like the place where I buy stuff? I can actually make money on Amazon.
You absolutely can. And Alex has some mind-blowing insights about how to do it. Stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive.
Okay, so we're back for the final part of this deep dive into making money online. And I've got to say, I'm still kind of surprised about this whole Amazon thing.
Yeah, it's definitely not the first thing you think of, right? Like when you're trying to build a brand or connect with an audience.
It's more like where I buy my toilet paper and dog food.
Exactly. But like we've seen, throughout this deep dive, sometimes those unexpected platforms can be the most profitable.
So, all right, let's break it down. What makes Amazon such a powerful platform for making money?
Well, I mean, first off, it's huge EE. The user base is massive. Practically everyone in the U.S. has used Amazon at some point, and those high-income earners, they're all over it.
Yeah, everyone and their dog has Prime, right?
Seriously, over 300 million people have Prime memberships.
That's a lot of potential customers. Okay, but what makes Amazon different from other platforms?
It comes down to trust. People just feel really comfortable buying things on Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, they have those buyer protection policies and everyone's so used to the interface.
Exactly, so that trust translates into insanely high conversion rates.
How high are we talking?
Well, Alex said that his book page converts at like 30%.
30%. So 1 out of every 3 people who check out his book on Amazon actually buy it.
That's right. Think about that compared to, say, Shopify, where the average conversion rate is like 2%.
15 times higher conversion just because it's on Amazon. Okay, that is pretty mind-blowing. He also mentioned that he sold more books than the size of his email list.
Yeah, that means he was tapping into this whole new audience, people who weren't already following him.
Right, right. It's like built-in distribution. Okay, so selling your own products, that makes sense. But he also sees a lot of potential in the Amazon affiliate program for influencers.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So like influencers could be recommending products they love and earning a commission.
Exactly. And because of those really high conversion rates, they could potentially earn more through those affiliate sales, even with lower commission percentages.
Oh, interesting. So it might even be more profitable than promoting products on, say, Instagram or TikTok where the conversion rates are lower.
Potentially, yeah.
Hmm.
And it just feels more authentic too, right?
Yeah, it's less salesy and more like, hey, I genuinely love this product and think you might too.
Exactly. And by incorporating smart calls to action, like QR codes in their books or links in their video descriptions, they can just seamlessly guide their audience towards those affiliate products.
So it's like building this whole ecosystem around your brand within Amazon. I like it. All right, well, before we wrap things up, I want to circle back to podcasts and email marketing for a minute. They're kind of like the slow and steady wins the race approach, right?
I love that analogy. It's like social media, that's all about speed and instant gratification. But podcasts and email, those are for building those long-term relationships.
It's about playing the long game.
Exactly. And the results speak for themselves, right? Remember those stats Alex shared about his email open rates and podcast listening times?
Yeah, 40% open rates for email and an average of 20 minutes for his podcasts. That's incredible.
It is. It means people are really invested in what he has to say.
They're not just skimming or skipping through. They're listening, they're engaging, and they're more likely to become loyal customers.
And don't forget that amazing ROI for email marketing. 36 to 1. That's like printing money.
Seriously. So even though building an email list and growing a podcast can be a slow burn, it's definitely worth the effort.
It is. You're creating something you actually own. It's not at the mercy of some algorithm.
You're in control.
Exactly. It's a more sustainable approach to building a business. You're building something lasting and meaningful.
I love that. Well, this has been a fantastic deep dive. I feel like I've learned so much about all these different platforms and how to actually use them effectively to make money online.
It's been great exploring these insights with you. And, one of the biggest takeaways for me is that Alex's success didn't happen overnight. He put in the work, he analyzed the data, he adapted his strategies, and he never stopped providing value to his audience.
Yeah, that's a great reminder for all of us, right? There's no magic bullet. It's all about being consistent, being curious, and always looking for ways to improve.
So true. And like Alex said, never stop learning. The online landscape is constantly changing, so we've got to be adaptable.
Great advice. So to wrap things up, I just want to say this. Don't be afraid to experiment, to try new things for what works best for you and your business. And remember, success online isn't just about the platforms you choose. It's about the value you provide, the connections you make, and the impact you have on your audience.
Beautifully said. And until next time, keep it...